Hello and welcome to Story Meadow, stories for car journeys, bedtime and any other quiet time. My name's Marion and I'll be sharing this story with you today. But before we start, I'd like to share about the Story Meadow summer camp, which has been absolutely amazing so far. We welcome children in for the whole day from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock, where we tell a story, a Billy Bunny story of course, and then we bring it to life. So we play games from the story, we make arts and crafts from the story, we ask the children what will happen next in the story, and sometimes it takes unexpected turns. Each day we have mindfulness, we have bubble parties, we do campfire games and so much more. If you want to come along to the Story Meadow summer camp, please take a look at the Story Meadow website, which has all of the details on there. Lots of information, lots of videos to check out as well about what we have to offer. And I hope to see you there soon. So have a look at storymeadow.co.uk. Right, let's crack on with our lovely story, which is super special today because this is a story from our first Story Meadow birthday party. We had Erla's birthday party. Happy birthday, Erla. And we had a very special birthday story for her party. So I'm going to share it with you all today. Let's take a first big breath in through your nose and slowly back out through your mouth. And this time, put your hands out in front of you as if you were holding a lovely hot chocolate in your hands. You're going to breathe in the smell through your nose. Smell that lovely chocolate. And then blow out softly through your mouth to cool it back down. Lovely. Well done. I think it's time to start our story. Are you ready? Billy Bunny and the Muddy Campsite. Billy Bunny had been camping with his family and with his friends, and he had been having the most amazing time. But this morning, when he woke up, he heard a pitter-patter, drip-drip on his tent. And it was quite a nice sound. The pattering, it was very relaxing, and the little drips, he didn't mind it at all. And then when he poked his nose out of his tent, he noticed that it must have rained all night long because the campsite was very muddy and there were some really big muddy puddles. Now Billy Bunny does not mind the mud at all. So he hopped out of his tent and he started squelching in the mud and giggling, and then he went to check if his friends were awake. He said, "Squirrel Lily, are you awake? Look, there are squelchy puddles." And they squelched in the puddles together. They went over to Little Fox's tent and they said, Little Fox, look at the squelchy puddles." Now Little Fox loves squelchy puddles, so he came storming out of his tent and said, "Muddy puddles!" And he splattered into them, and he was so loud he woke up the whole rest of the campsite. And it wasn't long before all of the animals were squelching and playing in the muddy puddles and having a brilliant time. But one little animal has very short legs, and when the mud is too squelchy, this little animal can't really have much fun because actually he gets stuck in the mud. Billy Bunny heard his little friend before he saw him, and he heard a little, "Help! Over here, Billy, help! Help!" Now, when Billy looked around, he found that Little Hedgehog was actually completely stuck in the mud. He had mud up to his tummy. "Oh no, Little Hedgehog, are you all right?" said Billy, and he came over to give him a paw and help him out. But Little Hedgehog was stuck in so deep that Billy couldn't pull him out on his own. He said, "Little Fox, I need your help." So Little Fox held on to Billy Bunny and they pulled together. But it was no use. Little Hedgehog was really, really stuck deep. So they shouted, "Squirrel Lily, can you come and help? Can you come and help?" So Squirrel Lily came along and she pulled on Little Fox, and Little Fox pulled on Billy, and Billy pulled on Little Hedgehog, and finally, pew! Little Hedgehog came whizzing out of the mud, and Billy and all of his friends all fell into a little muddy puddle behind them. Squelch! Oh! Billy didn't mind though. He doesn't mind the mud at all. In fact, he was quite enjoying it. But he said to Little Hedgehog, "Maybe we need to build something for you so that you can actually enjoy the muddy puddles too and not get stuck inside them. Maybe we could make some bridges for you or some slides to go over the puddles." Well, Little Hedgehog really liked the sound of that, so they got to work and they made bridges and they made pulley systems and they made little slides and even little rafts for the very big muddy puddles, and the animals had a brilliant time making a muddy assault course together. Now actually, they connected up all of the little bridges and they put logs in between. And Billy wanted to have a go to see if he could be really fast at running through the muddy obstacle course. It was so much fun. And Billy was very fast at it. But one little animal was the fastest. Little Fox was so speedy that he could whiz through the whole assault course in just 10 seconds. Now Billy really wanted to beat that. He said, "Little Fox, give me one more turn. Let me try again. I can hop and then I can jump and then I can swing, and I think I'm going to be even faster than 10 seconds. Let me try. So Billy Bunny had another go. This time he stretched before everybody said ready, steady, go. And he got down in a sprinting position, ready to be as fast as he could be. And he heard ready, steady, go. And Billy shot out onto the first bridge. And he jumped over, and he used a zip line to get over the next one, and he whizzed through a slide and under a tunnel, and then he hopped, and he balanced all along, but oh dear. Billy lost his balance. He wobbled and he fell splat into a muddy puddle. He fell with his face and his tummy and his paws and his feet, every single part of him splattered into the muddy puddle. And that mud splattered all over his friends. Now they weren't just a little bit muddy. They were very, very muddy. But they giggled and they laughed, and Little Hedgehog said, "I think we need to go over to the freezing cold pond and we need to wash off our fur a little bit, Billy. We're a little bit too muddy." So they giggled along and they went over to the pond. And when they got there, they washed all their fur. And it was very freezy cold, and Little Hedgehog didn't like it much, but they had to get washed a little bit because the mud would not feel very nice for a long time. And they washed themselves off. And then Billy noticed something beautiful in the water. And he bent down to pick it up. It was a beautiful gem. And actually, when Billy looked all around, he found that there were lots of gems all in the water. "Let's collect them up," said Billy. "I found gems. Look, look, look." And he pointed them out to his friends. And all of the animals, they collected up the gems together and they put them in a little jar, and Billy kept them safe in his bag. He said, "Let's go back to the campsite and we can look at them with my microscope and we can see all the different things inside. We'll be able to see all the tiny details of these beautiful gems. Come on." They went running back to the campsite. Now, when they got there, they looked at the gems and they used magnifying glass and Billy's microscope, and they had a really good look at them, and they were beautiful. But Billy heard a sad sound. He heard somebody crying and saying, "Oh, this is a disaster. I worked so hard on it. Oh, this is going to take so long to put it back. Oh, no." Now, Billy is a very helpful little bunny, so he hopped towards the sound. "Are you all right?" he said, and he found a little brown bird. And the bird said, "Oh, hi, Billy. I've come from a long way. I'm on holiday too. I've actually come all the way from Australia. I'm a bowerbird, you see, and sometimes we like to have nice holidays like this, nice and fancy. We go all the way here and all the way there, and I like to make my nests very, very nice and very fancy. And well, I usually have beautiful stones and gems and things like that. But Billy, look. The rain has actually washed my beautiful nest away. It's all damaged and all broken, and oh, my beautiful gems, they're all missing." Do you remember what Billy just found in the pond? Billy pulled out his jar. He said, "Oh, Mr. Bowerbird, did you lose some gems that look a bit like this?" Oh yes, he said, "They're my gems." He flapped his wings, he was all excited. "Oh, Billy, you found them, where were they?" Billy explained. He said, "I think it rained so much in the night that your precious gems got washed away and they ended up in the pond. But I just spotted them. I was all muddy from playing in the puddles and we were having a wash and I spotted them all with my friends. So here you go." Oh, the bowerbird was so pleased and so happy. He flapped his wings and he started to make his nest again. And Billy and his friends all helped and they made the most beautiful bowerbird nest all together with some beautiful gems all around to decorate it. And everyone was happy again. The end. This was a special story from our summer camp where we had so much fun bringing this story to life. We made real muddy puddles out of real squelchy mud. And we built bridges over them so that little hedgehog could get over and not get stuck in the mud. We had pulley systems, we had slides, we had boats to get him through the muddy puddles. And then we even went over to our paddling pool where there were real gems stuck in ice blocks. And we chiseled them out, we bashed them out with rocks to find the bowerbird's special rocks, which we then used to make an amazing bowerbird nest. It was such a fun day. We had campfire songs as well, and bubble parties and mindfulness and lots of arts and crafts, and it was just such a wonderful time. If you want to join us at our summer camp, please ask your parents to have a look at storymeadow.co.uk where there are all the details and you can come along on a new day. See you there soon. Bye bye.